It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBSports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
As the final month of 2022 is in full swing, we turn our attention to another season of high school basketball right here on the WBCB Sports Network. Tonight, it's rivalry night and the opening in Suburban 1 League play. Girls basketball as Neshaminy High School take on their rivals, the Pennsbury Lady Falcons. A pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome inside Pennsbury High School. I'm Nick Gallagher alongside Eric DiCrescenzo, who will be our cameraman and our color guy for the evening. We will dive into tonight's matchup in just a moment, but first, tonight's game is brought to you by Jefferson Health, Revere Restaurant, McCaffrey Supermarket, Rob's Automotive and Collision, St. Mary Medical Center, BCWSA, Penn Community Bank, The Trentonian, Peruzzi Auto Group, Jammer Doors, Di Lorenzo's Pizza, Pennsbury Regional Basketball League, and we thank the sponsors for making tonight's game possible. All right, let's take a look at this one as we're moments away from first tip. The Pennsbury Falcons come into the 2022 season already with a win to their name on Tuesday, beating Archbishop Ryan 56-27. They were led by Daniela McDonald, who had 17 points, 5 3-pointers in that game. Sophia Fatucci contributed 12.6 rebounds and 3 assists, and Danielle Sherman contributed 8 points. They had a 36-7 lead at the half, 23 second quarter points, and Pennsbury is looking good early on in their 2022 season, but they got a rival in front of them tonight, Eric, as it'll be a tall task for Neshaminy to come in here. But these two teams have a lot of history and a lot of moments they've had, especially last season together.
Absolutely, and it's one of those things where no matter who the players are, how good the teams are, it's a rivalry game, and these teams are going to be up for it no matter what.
And Pennsbury coming into this new season, they finished last season at 27-5. 13-0 at home, so that record will already be to the test in the early parts of the 2022 campaign. Neshaminy coming into tonight last season finishing 19-10 in their 2021-2022 season. They were 9-4 at home, 7-4 on the road, 13-3 in league play, and they will look to continue as we get set for our national anthem. Our national anthem getting it that much closer to first tip here from the Falcons' nest. As we get set for player introductions, and we will start with the visiting Neshaminy High School.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's Suburban 1 League Patriot Division matchup between the visiting Skins of Neshaminy and the Falcons of Pennsbury. The officials for tonight's contest are John Gatta, Stacy Smalls, and Amy Luke.
Neshaminy ended up their 2021-22 season losing to Archbishop Carroll 53-25 in the first round of the state playoffs, and they were the 10th seed in the District 1 playoffs. And for them, number 3, Elena Cofield.
Junior, number 11, Lola Iberando.
Number 11, junior, Lola Iberando.
Senior, number 13, Taylor Gersh.
Number 13, Taylor Gersh, who has just recently committed her academic career to Kutztown University.
Zamitis.
And number 22, Reese Zamitis. the 6'1" junior who has 15 D1 scholarship offers. And she's got a couple years still to play, but she's already looking at a lot of colleges for her playing career.
She's legit.
And rounding out the top five, the starting five for the Skins tonight is number 23, Jessica Purdy. And the starters for the Falcons tonight.
Freshman out of Levittown,
Number 3, Emily Pinero. The freshman forward gets the start.
sophomore out of Yardley, number 20, Maggie Burns.
Number 20, Maggie Burns.
Junior out of Levittown, number 5, Layla Mathias.
It'll be the junior number 5, Layla Mathias, the other forward.
Junior out of Yardley, number 21, Sophia Botucci.
Number 21, Sophia Vitucci.
And senior out of Yardley, number 24, Nevaeh Dash.
And rounding out the starting five, number 24, the senior Nevaeh Dash. Dash, the only senior in the Pennsbury starting five, a small senior class to say the least for the Falcons this season. Only 3 seniors with Nevaeh Dash, Neve Davis, and Izzy Ruda, the 3. But this class is a interesting roster for head coach Frank Sciola this year. He's got a heavy juniors with 8 juniors on the line on the roster this year. 3 seniors. So, Eric, it's tough for Pennsbury coming in this season. They lost Nicole Pompili to graduation. She's over in following up her academic career over in Texas. Ava Sciola playing D1 basketball for the University of Maryland. And those 2 girls were part of the winningest class in Pennsbury Falcon history. How do you think they can kind of replace those bodies in this 2022 season?
Well, it's one of those things where it has to be a culture. It's one of those things where you've built a winning culture in the program and you want to keep it going. So, some of these girls like Emily Pinero, she is a freshman coming in here with a team that has had a lot of success recently. And essentially what it is she's seen the success that's happened in the past. She's going to want to come out here and be a part of it too. So now with the winning culture, they need the girls that are getting out there now to buy in and really make it happen.
As we have a loose ball goes out of play, and it'll go to the Falcons here. Head coach Frank Sciola has got a guard-heavy lineup this year. They're not really big, only a couple girls over 5'10" this year. So they're going to have to play fast and up-tempo and fit their speed. And Coach Sciola trying to still figure out the rotation for them early on. Only, again, the second game of the season for them. It's Neshaminy's first game. And putting up the shot and no good was Cofield. And it's rebounded by Vitucci, and she'll go the other way with it.
The first minute of this game looks like it's an early season matchup.
Nevaeh Dash hits the corner 3. First points for Pennsbury at home here, opens up the early score 3-0. Dash an all-league selection this year, and coach wants to see more aggression from her as a senior and step up to her leadership role. 3 no good there, and rebounded.
Now the other thing, Nick, when you look at the rosters right now, this is going to be a good rivalry for the next couple years. I mean, you have a lot of juniors and a lot of sophomores that are in this game right now, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get tougher as the years go on. And they're skilled juniors and sophomores, so it's not like they're just juniors. You have a couple girls on each side that are really nice players.
And this is really a big season for both programs. Pennsbury trying to move on from their winningest class. Neshaminy wants to get better, and second-year head coach John Gallagher had a great first year. 19-10 they finished last year. And the Skins returning their top 3 scorers, defense, and outside shooting. They will be tough to beat in a very tough conference to play in around Bucks County. Ball goes out of play, back to the Falcons here. Mathias goes up with it, back over to Dash. Dash will call out a play and get everyone in position here. It's Burns with it on the wing. She'll dribble back up to Vitucci on top of the key.
Now the other thing that's going to be really interesting for Pennsbury is who is going to step up. You lose your two seniors.
Vitucci connects on the bucket, 5-0 Pennsbury lead.
But you lose your two scorers, your two leaders, your two seniors. Now you need players to step up. You need those incoming seniors to step up, the juniors to step up and really take charge.
Dash with the steal. She'll go the other way with it. Take it herself, coast to coast. Euro step in the lane. No good. Lost the handle with it. And it will stay with the Falcons here. Burns with it. Goes over to the corner to Vitucci. Puts up a corner three and it connects. Vitucci, 5 points early on for her.
Did they maybe find their scorer already?
Could be. So Vitucci and Dash, the only scorer so far as a trio of substitutions come on for the Skins. And it'll be Ava Jordan for the Falcons. Shot is good from deep. It'll be Lindsay Little, as Coach John Gallagher is looking for her to contribute in a big way this season, as Pennsbury will work it around the key here. Vitucci looking.
Now, if I'm Neshaminy here, defensively, I would almost get out of the zone and try to force them inside, because the zone is forcing them to take outside shots. But with Pennsbury being a smaller team and a quicker team, that's going to, and a really good shooting team from the outside, that's going to work into their favor. With Neshaminy having the size, you would almost want to force them inside, especially when you have girls at the heights of like 5'10" and 6'1", you know, make them shoot over you.
Pennsbury not a big team this year, but they're no stranger to tall tasks. They sometimes almost like, you wouldn't call them an underdog, but this season they almost have a underdog mentality to them and a little bit of pressure to continue the winning ways. The last couple classes have come out. And it'll be a foul underneath the basket.
Yeah, not only that, you're also thinking you lose Ava Ciola, and you look at them and you say, well, there's going to be a huge drop-off when you lose a Big Ten player. Not always the case. And I think from what we're seeing from the Falcons early in this game and early in this season is they do have the ability to keep this thing rolling just as it was.
Ball's loose in the paint. Skins recover here. Zamitis from deep, no good. As Matthias gathers that one. And it'll be a pushing foul there. As Danielle Sherman checks in. As Daniela McDonald, I mentioned in the opening, McDonald, 17 points in the opening contest against Archbishop Ryan. 5 3-pointers to lead all scorers for the Falcons.
You beat me to the point, Nick. I was going to say, she can hit it from downtown, so I would watch for her out in the corner and on the wing.
Yeah, you almost got to continue to feed her early on to continue that streak. As Vitucci, 3, no good. But when we're shooting that well in just the first game of the year, you have to, yes, she wasn't in the starting 5 tonight, but Coach Ciola will definitely have to try to find ways to get her the ball from deep.
Back into the game for the Falcons.
Well, sometimes players are just better coming off the bench offensively. Sometimes it takes some pressure off of them. It kind of juices them up to, come in here and provide the energy, and that might be what McDonald's role is.
Shot from deep by Gersh there, no good, and Pennsbury traveled with it. They'll go back to Neshaminy here. 2:36 to go here in the opening corner. Pennsbury with the early lead. Vitucci in transition, kicks it over in the corner. They'll go back over to Dash in the corner. Thought about it. She'll pull it back down. And ball's loose. Neshaminy comes away with it. Corner three by Linz Little, no good. Rebounded Falcons. They'll go the other way in transition as Vitucci slows it down. Vitucci on the wing, hesitant, almost made Gersh go down, Linz Little go down. As Falcons work it around the perimeter there, and putting up a shot goes Burns, gets her own rebound, spins, fires over to Vitucci in the corner, Vitucci off the rim, no good. Ball's loose, Falcons come away with it. As working hard for the rebound there was Maggie Burns, came up with it. She was pushed out of play, so Falcons will keep it here on the inbound under the basket. As a pair of substitutions come on for the Falcons. And Cofield comes back on for Neshaminy.
Ava Jordan back in for the Falcons, as well as Danielle McDonald.
Dash will inbound to Vitucci. Vitucci goes down low, spinning over to Sherman, gets the foul on the put-up. And she'll go to line to shoot two. Don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. Sherman misses the first free throw.
Checking in for the Falcons, number 22, Olivia Gilchrist.
And Sherman hits the second. She had 8 points in Pennsbury's opening contest just on Tuesday night. As deep three for Zamitis there.
Reese Zamitis for three.
That's her game. She likes to stand out there and hit the long ball. And, that's not someone you can leave open. We talked about 15 Division I offers. She is one heck of a player. And she'll burn you if you give her a chance to.
Yeah, you don't want her to get comfortable. And she can just light it up. She gets in the zone here. So still plenty of time for the Falcons. Maybe get a 2-for-1 opportunity with 45 ticks to go here in the opening quarter.
Emily Pinero back in for the Falcons. Also checking in number 42, Nev Davis.
As Pinero and Nev Davis come back in for the Falcons. Davis with it now. Goes over to Vitucci. Vitucci hesitates, thought about a three. Nevaeh Dash was open. She drives, kicks it back out. Corner three, no good. Too strong there by Pinero. As Zamitis in transition now with it for the Falcons. Dash all over there. Ball's deflected in the air as Neve Davis had it, and it'll be a foul on the Skins there. They'll get Gersh on the foul. Seen a lot of substitutions early on, Eric, for really both teams, and Coach Sciola trying to figure out what's working, what formula is going to work for him, and that's especially early in the early part of any basketball season.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
9 seconds with it. Bertucci, 6 seconds. Driving, and she'll get the bump. No shot.
That is a bad foul. Not only does it put them in the bonus in the first quarter, but you just picked up a foul about 23 feet from the basket. Look, Sophia Bertucci is a nice player, but the chances of her hitting a three-pointer from that far out is slim. So that is not a foul that you want to commit if you're Neshaminy. But for Pennsbury, you have a golden opportunity now. You're in the bonus for the next rest of the half. You got 8 minutes.
As Bertucci misses the foul, rebounded underneath, and another foul. They'll call it, I believe, on Zamitis for the time being. As it'll put Emily Pinero, the freshman, to the line for the first time tonight. As Pinero couldn't get the friendly bounce there, as Zamitis will get the rebound and just let time expire. But that's it for quarter number one. Back and forth action we go from the Falcons' nest here. Falcons lead at 9-6. We'll step aside. Second quarter action coming up right here on the WBCB Sports Network.
WSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Former Philly Tommy Green, and here's the pitch. More people are online every day to check and pay their bills. Now you can have your BCWSA utility bill delivered electronically. Enrollment couldn't be easier. Just go to bcwsa.net or call 800-222-2068. With electronic billing, you have control to see your bills whenever you want and enjoy the convenience of viewing and printing up to 13 months of your previous bills. Best of all, the service is free. Sign up for e-billing at bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Jefferson Health has been
And we're back here from the Falcons' nest. Second quarter action underway. Pennsbury will start with possession as Bertucci pulls up with a jumper inside the arc there. And loose ball will go out of play and go right back to the Falcons here. So, Eric, a back and forth first quarter it was. Pennsbury missing some shots, but a lot of opportunities. But Neshaminy looking good as well early on.
Yeah, it's 9-6 right now. This is going to be a close game throughout. I think you're seeing with Pennsbury right now a team that is trying to find its offensive identity. And with Neshaminy, you're seeing a team that is, poised for that kind of season where they're going to start breaking out and showing that they have the players. Now, that being said, Pennsbury still has the ability to have that kind of season. Just after losing your two top scorers, you need to find your offensive identity first before you can start talking about how many wins you're going to rack up this year.
As Neshaminy works it around the perimeter there, rebounded was Lola, and hitting the three was Zamitis. Her second three of the contest. Give her 6 points early on. 11-9, Falcons still lead. Zamitis averaging 14 points per game for Neshaminy last season, looking to continue that being the flow of the offense as the Falcons here work it around. Corner three from them, and it's good. That'd be Daniela McDonald. And she continues her impressive start to the 2022-23 season, her 6th three already of the season.
With the way these two teams play, I think there's a decent chance that we might see this game turn into a three-point shootout.
Neshaminy has the capability of doing that. They haven't taken too many. There's one there. No good. Rebounded inside. Ibarrondo now with it. Works it back over to Zamitis. In and out of the cylinder. Rebounded Falcons. They'll go over to Dash. She'll push it ahead.
Falcons got lucky there. You give Zamitis that much room, she's usually going to burn you. That time, they got the luck of the home court rim.
As Dash travels there, she'll get the walk. As Falcons make a substitution here, it's Sherman. And I've noticed there, when Zamitis is shooting from deep, she, at least so far, has only gone to one spot. So if that's her preference of position to shoot from deep, maybe the Falcons can hone in on it.
And yeah, shooters can be like that sometimes. Right. If you have that three-point stroke, a lot of times you're going to find your area on the floor and try to spot up there.
Ibarrondo now with it for the Skins, top of the key. Still swinging around for Linz Little. And ball's loose in midcourt. Falcons ran for it. And they'll call the foul there on Matthias. Doesn't like the call. And Frank Sciola not happy about it either.
Jordan back in for the Falcons.
You gotta love Frank Sciola for never afraid to show his emotions on his sleeve, Eric. And he's been here 7 years now, and he's always animated. If it's a game in December or a game in March, he doesn't care. He'll show you everything.
Oh, he's one of those guys where you can tell every single game matters.
And through his illustrious career here, he's just been that kind of coach. And it's great to have that kind of coach in this area. Corner three there from Little is good.
Lindsay Little for three.
So Skins trail by 2 now, 14-12 Pennsbury lead. Bertucci again thought about a three. Dash looking. Falcons working around the perimeter, go back and forth here. Bertucci trying to work one-on-one on the inside. Ball's loose, mid-court. Ibarrondo comes up with it. She gives it up to Little. Gersh now with it. Wide open three for her, and it's good. Taylor Gersh connects from deep. Neshaminy has their first lead. Timeout. Frank Sciola. As will be a 30-second time out. We'll keep things right here. For complete automotive trust, the Peruzzi Auto Group, for value and service on all makes and models. Free multi-point inspection on your vehicle with any paid service. 10% military and law enforcement discounts on any service. Buy 3 tires, get the 4th free. All service performed by certified technicians. Peruzzi has big, comfy waiting rooms at their dealerships with free Wi-Fi and early drop-off. Peruzzi service open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. until 6 p.m. Saturday, 7:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Peruzzi Auto Group service for all makes and models. Visit a Peruzzi dealership on Business Route 1 right here in Fairless Hills, where our business is you. So the Falcons trail for the first time tonight as Neshaminy has dominated the second quarter so far. And they have done everything we pretty much expect them to do, is shooting from deep, Eric, and they're getting some wide open looks and causing some miscommunication on the Pennsbury defense.
Yeah, and this is an interesting scenario because Neshaminy being the bigger team, but they're also a good shooting team. So once you go out there and defend the three-point shot, they can go inside and get you in the post and all that other stuff. So it's a real tricky defensive scenario for the Falcons.
Neshaminy ball.
As Falcons come out of the timeout, the 10-second violation. Go right back. Give it up to Neshaminy at midcourt here. 3:56 to go here in the first half. Jumper inside the arc, no good. Rebounded, Dash had a finger on it. Neshaminy comes up with it. Ibarando with it, still swinging it around. Jumper at the free throw line is good as Taylor Gersh connects her 5th point of the night.
Pennsbury actually got away with one there. That should have actually been an end one. She was hitting the back as she shot the ball.
Tucci kicks it over to Dash, had a corner three, she'll take it inside, off the rim, no good, rebounded by Zamaitis. She'll go over up court to Purdy, Purdy the shot, no good. Rebounded, Ibarando underneath the basket, puts it up off the glass, no good. As ball's loose, Pennsbury comes up with it. Dash goes in the lane, drives, gets the foul, and it'll be a charge on Nevaeh Dash.
Wow. Coach Sciolo is about to be just going berserk over here. There was some contact under the basket that he was going nuts about, and after that, he's probably irate.
Something about that loose ball in the corner on the Pennsbury sideline, and he got very animated very quickly. I don't know if he was looking for a foul there. Gersh now with it. Goes back over to Ibarando, who takes it top of the key.
Now what we're seeing in this game right now is definitely a case of, and right on cue with the turnover of what I'm about to say, is a team that's gelled against a team that is still gelling.
Right.
Where Neshaminy played a lot of games together last year with this lineup, and Pennsbury is still figuring out their right lineup, their scorers, their defenders, all their different roles. So that's what we're seeing right now, is two teams in totally different spots, just scheme-wise, gel-wise, all that different stuff.
Right, and you look at it, it's Neshaminy's first game of the season. Pennsbury already played just 2 nights ago, so at least they have some chemistry from Tuesday, and a big win in that game. Ball's loose on the floor after the shot, and we'll go back over to Neshaminy, says the possession arrow. But yeah, Eric, to your point, though, like, it is a very good point. You had a lot of minutes played last year by Sciolo and Pompili, and a lot of the players now that are starters were just role players who had minimal roles in that season, and now they're asked to step in. You got a freshman in the starting 5, Nevaeh Dash, the only senior in the starting 5, and a ton of juniors, but they have a great experience together.
And that's the thing. Like, I know Pennsbury probably has a decent feeder program, if not great feeder program, with the success that they've had recently. But the only difference with that is that when you add a freshman into the mix of the starting lineup, or a sophomore in, you're adding someone in that really hasn't had experience with these players. I mean, especially with the freshman, that's someone that hasn't even played in the program yet.
Right. Tucci with it on the wing. She'll swing it back around. Presley Foot now with it. As Falcons continue to work the perimeter here, try to get something opening up. Final minute of play here. Falcons trail by 5. Haven't scored in a few minutes now. Foot with it on the perimeter, goes inside, shot by Burns.
Actually, I hate to be the one to point this out, but have they scored in this quarter?
I think they got 1-3.
1-3. Yeah, McDonald's 3.
Yes.
This is just, it's something that it's not too often that you see a Pennsbury Falcons team held to 1 basket in a quarter. So
right.
Let's see if they can change that right now.
still being very patient. Have used already 40 seconds here. The final minute of play.
I think this is going to be a screen for Vitucci isolation right here.
She almost lost her footing. She'll put up the jumper from the elbow. No good. Rebounded. Skins with it now. They'll go in transition. Final 5 seconds. Ball's loose. Vitucci's going to have to put it up. 2 seconds. Corner three from deep. No good. Off the front of the rim. Too short. And that will do it for the end of the first half as Neshaminy goes into the locker room with a 19-14 lead here. And we will step aside.
Reindeers.
And we'll come back in a few moments and recap the first half and look ahead to the second half. Stay with us right here on the WBCB Sports Network.
Has been serving Northeast Philadelphia and Bucks County for more than a century. Their Frankfort, Torresdale, and Bucks Hospital locations are there for you with primary and specialty care, emergency care, and of course, inpatient care. Wherever you live, work, or play, Jefferson Health is there with exceptional care. Jefferson is where you are. Call 1-800-JEFF now to schedule an appointment or visit jeffersonhealth.org.
McCaffrey's Food Markets, exceptional every day. Family owned and operated for over 40 years, McCaffrey's is part of your community and a very proud supporter of our local high schools. For true value on the freshest meats and produce to their own prepared food department, to everyday savings on your necessary items, McCaffrey's is exceptional every day. And it's in your neighborhood in the Edgewood Village Shopping Center, 635 Heacock Road, Yardley. The Villages of Newtown at 2890 South Eagle Road, and also in Bluebell, Princeton, West Windsor, and the best of McCaffrey's in Doylestown.
Whether you're just getting started, already well on your way, planning for your future, drafting your vision, growing toward greatness, or finding that dreams really can come true, whatever your next steps are, we'll be right here with you, just like we have been for 150 years. Start here, grow here, stay here. Penn Community Bank. Here we are, and here we grow. Member FDIC. You are not just building a company. You are helping to build your community. For 150 years, Penn Community Bank has been strengthening our region, serving as a trusted partner and resource for businesses like yours. Our team of business bankers can get you where you need to go. Real relationships, expert advice, swift solutions to power your growth. Start here, grow here, stay here. Penn Community Bank. Here we are, and here we grow. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more.
the Gator, Jerry Blavitt, inviting you to come on by and experience true traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant at 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You're always welcome at the restaurant. I mean, it's like stepping back in time. You feel like you're dining in South Philadelphia or in New York's Little Italy restaurant. You can start the meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. You choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood, steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The restaurant is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private rooms are available for special affairs, plus we do catering. Remember, the Revere Restaurant, 609-882-6365. Again, that's 609-882-6365. Come on home and experience the true taste of Italy at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
At Team Toyota, we're giving you everything you want this season. Like savings on new Toyota models with no markups above MSRP. You can reserve yours now. And selection with over 200 certified Toyotas and used cars for every budget. And check out our seasonal service specials that will save you both time and money. So let's celebrate the season at one of our 3 locations or at teamtoyota.net. And thank you for being part of it.
Jammer Doors and Windows is a 4th-generation family-owned and operated business since 1920 with showrooms in Lawrenceville and at Yardley. Jammer provides sales, service, and installation of garage doors and openers featuring Rainer garage doors, both steel and aluminum. Rainer garage doors are crafted for durability. Jammer also has entry doors, patio doors, storm doors, and windows, and they do their own work and installation using no subcontractors. Visit their showroom at 2850 Brunswick Pike, Business Route 1, Lawrenceville. Yardley showroom open by appointment only. Call 215-493-7709. Jammer Doors and Windows, 101 years of quality and commitment, and A+ Better Business Bureau rated. DiLorenzo's The Berg Pizza, 8919 New Falls Road in Levittown, owned and operated by 3rd-generation family member Tyler DiLorenzo. Tyler uses the exact same recipes that his great-grandparents did back in the 1940s. In Trenton's famous Chambersburg section, try the only original Trenton tomato pie or other gourmet pizzas, including their mustard pie, soups, fresh salads, hot sandwiches, and homemade pasta dishes, all served in a very safe, clean environment. Eat in or take out. You can call 215-943-2605. That's 215-943-2605. DiLorenzo's The Berg Pizza also does catering for all affairs. DiLorenzo's The Berg Pizza in the Vermilion Square Shopping Center, 8919 New Falls Road in Levittown, open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. until 8:30 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till 9 p.m., Sundays noon until 8:30, and closed on Mondays.
You're making me hungry, Nick.
It's always hard to read through that and not be hungry in any of that. So head on over to DiLorenzo's, get some food. And don't forget, if you missed any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of The Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's The Trentonian or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's The Trentonian. So 3rd quarter action moments away here from the Falcons' nest as they trail 19-14, Eric. And what was a Pennsbury dominated, I guess, first quarter, and then the second quarter belonged to the Skins there, and they kind of started to become what we thought they would be, shoot the lights out and kind of be aggressive on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Pennsbury coming out of the chutes looked like Pennsbury of last year. And they were hitting threes, getting boards, hustling all over the place. And then the shots stopped falling in the second quarter. They made one basket in the second quarter, And like you said, Neshaminy then came over and they started hitting their shots. They started getting ball movement, and their biggest thing, they were getting Zemaitis open, and they were getting her to her top of the key zone and getting her the three-pointers. I mean, this is a girl that has offers from LaSalle, Penn, Harvard, Columbia, Army, schools like that. If you leave her open, she's going to drill the three. And Pennsbury, unfortunately, did that a couple times. But you can also see that Pennsbury is gelling currently. They're figuring out who they are, what their identity is, who their scorers are. So, you know, that's going to be the thing to look for, not only in the rest of this game, but the couple games going forward, is how do they figure out what their identity is and who they are.
Yeah, they really, that's what the early season is all about, too. You know, you can't look too much into this game for Pennsbury because you have a long season ahead, a lot of tough competition. Yes, you want to win this game if you're both teams, regardless. You want to win this game because it's a rivalry night. It's the first home game for the Falcons. It's the first game for Neshaminy. But Pennsbury, like you said, Eric, and as well said, they got to figure out their scores. When you lose one of your could have been, I should say, all-time leading scorer in Pennsbury girls basketball if 2021 and 20 didn't happen or weren't the seasons that they were.
How short was she from getting it?
I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head. I just know that I read something that if 2020 wasn't a shortened season, she did get injured last year, so she missed some time. So if Ava could have played more in that sense, you know, maybe she could have broke it. But back to this current team, and they're losing possession here in the start of the third quarter. They'll get it back off the deflection at midcourt as Matthias picks it up. As Burns with it now, she'll try to push Pennsbury up the floor here. Dash with it inside, she'll lose it as Cofield comes up with it. As ball's loose again, and Pennsbury gets it, and it's Vitucci putting up two. As Ibarando is down on the floor, face down, holding her head. Don't know if she bumped.
I think she might have hit it on the floor when she went down after the loose ball.
So we hope she's okay.
Well, you know, in those situations, what I actually fear more than the hardwood is when you have guys going, or athletes going for the loose balls. Sometimes you can get a knee going towards the head area, and I think, you know, that's always a fear. And obviously with concussions as prominent as they are, that's the biggest thing you fear during this situation.
Ibarano seems to be okay. Had some help from the trainer and head coach John Gallagher there. She'll take herself off the court, though, as Ibarano led the team in steals last year and assists, averaged just about 11 points per game. So we'll reevaluate her and see if she is able to continue tonight. But the game will move on here as the Skins will get the possession here. Cofield now with it. Little over to Zemaitis. Little on the wing. She'll pull things back and reset here.
The thing that what I find really interesting with Zemaitis is she never really goes inside and posts up.
Right, yeah.
You would think being 6'1" and having a height advantage in a lot of games that she would go inside and actually like post some girls up and try to make some moves inside.
And Zemaitis can just be that all-around player who she's so good at scoring that she'll go inside when she wants to, but you have to stop her from the outside first and her jump shot. And then she'll try to work the inside. Corner three for the Skins there, and it's good from deep. That's Jessica Purdy, her first points of the night.
Jessica Purdy.
Not only that, there's reindeer running all over the place right now.
As the Skins extend their lead here to 6. Their largest of the night. Dash from deep now. Good shot, and she connects.
And that's big. If either Dash or Vitucci can get hot right now for the Falcons, that's going to change the whole landscape of this game.
As we have a timeout on the floor. There'll be a full timeout. The Pennsbury Regional Basketball League is in its 30-plus years and would like to wish both the Pennsbury girls and boys basketball teams the best of luck this year. Many of today's players got their first start with basketball playing in the Pennsbury Regional Basketball League. PRBL is one of the area's premier basketball leagues for players in the Pennsbury School District and neighboring districts. Their in-house program is for players of all skill levels, and PRBL also offers travel programs for more skilled players, grades 3 through 8. To learn more about the Pennsbury Regional Basketball League, visit prblonline.com. All one word, that's prblonline.com. And good luck, Falcons, from PRBL, proud to support you. As Falcons find themselves in a hole so far, as Nevaeh Dash leads them with 8 points on the night. And Vitucci has 7 to her name. But Pennsbury looking, like you said, Eric, for other scorers. And the 2 players that we thought would score have been the leading scorers for them, but they're looking for more. Ooh. And they'll call Vitucci for the foul there.
Now, I really like what Coach Ciola is doing here. You know, a team that is shooting the ball really well right now, make them go fast, make them make some mistakes, and they almost had it right there. That's a really, you know, in my opinion, kind of ticky-tack call. But you speed the other offense up, maybe they throw the ball out of bounds, maybe they just dribbled off their foot. That's the whole point of a press, and they're kind of going with a zone trap here.
3 from deep is no good there by Purdy. Rebounded. Falcons are vying for possession there as Alina Cofield held on to it for the Skins, and we will get a timeout, it looks like, from Neshaminy as John Gallagher gets a timeout here, 30 seconds.
And Nick, the other part with that, if you speed the offense up, sometimes you'll get a quick shot and you know, the shooter will rush their shot. And I think that's something that we saw there, because Neshaminy has shooters that if you let them get their feet set, get their hands set, you know, they'll sit there and they'll shoot it all day and make it all day. And right there, you had them moving really quickly, and with the traps, they were in a soft trap, and you know she had to just speed it up just a little bit, took her out of her rhythm.
Well, something that Coach Ciola has really prided himself on since he's taken over the reins 7 years ago, he really plays a team of defense. He likes defense, and he really tries to mold his girls into that and try to get the best out of them defensively. And Zamitis with the jumper, and it connects through traffic there. Zamitis now with 8. Leads all Neshaminy scorers here. Vitucci over to Dash with the hesitant 3 there. Vitucci dribbling around from the free throw line, gets the jumper to go. Vitucci now leading all scorers with 9.
We might get a pull-up 3. Nope. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a pass and a back screen for Zamitis at some point.
3 from the top of the key, no good. Rebounded by Cofield. Zamitis corner jumper just inside the arc, and that's good.
And I'll tell you what, this might be bad news for the Falcons, because Zamitis is starting to really heat up here.
As she gets the steal there, she'll take it herself the other way. Skins in transition, goes over down low to Cofield. She gets trapped, nowhere to go with it. She'll spin out of it. Purdy goes cross court. 3 from Gersh is good.
Now here's an interesting scenario. With it being a younger team and a team that's gelling, I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Ciola, and it looks like it's the method he's going to go with, is to not call a timeout. A lot of times in these situations, coaches that have new teams won't call a timeout here and let them fight through some adversity, and it looks like that's the route he's going to go.
You have to learn by doing in this game, and you're going to go through some growing pains. perhaps in the early part of this season. And why not? Why not let them figure it out? Let them build some chemistry together. See what the girls have in them. As Vitucci controls it with, and she'll get the, I guess, the bump off Gersh, who was happy with that call there.
I just realized Ibarando's back in.
Good to see, yeah, yeah.
The thing I really like about her is she plays with fire, man. Like, you can see it whenever something happens. She's got some juice to her.
Ibarando, the transfer from Conwell-Egan last year, her second season in this program. Big reason to Neshaminy's success last year. Zamitis on the elbow, she'll step back out, goes over to Ibarando, who drives, steps into the lane and doesn't get the roll. Rebounded Matthias down low. Tucci will slow things down here. Dash looking for some space, they'll work it around. Back over to Vitucci. McDonald in the corner. She's got to go down low to Pinero. And ball go out of play. And they'll say it was off Neshaminy. Pennsbury ball under the basket. As Danielle Sherman checks back in. Pinero heads to the bench now. Vitucci from three, off the front of the rim, no good. Ibarando got a finger on it and got the rebound, takes a hard trip on the far side there. She was tripped out of bounds. As Maggie Burns checks back in, and Matthias will head to the bench. Cofield trapped in the corner, goes down low. Open is Little, no good, rebounded. Sherman with it, she'll give it up to Vitucci. Dash over, works the corner, she'll go back. As Pennsbury will slow things down again here. About 2 minutes to go, just over 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Chamonix lead up to 8 now. 3 for McDonald, no good.
They call that on Zamitis?
I believe they did. Zamitis looked confused on that one.
I am too. She was boxing out.
I don't know what the call. I think they called a holding there while she boxed
maybe.
out.
She might have hooked her. That might have been. I wonder if that was the call. Oh, nice play.
Under the basket for McDonald, short, no good. Rebounded Zamitis. Ibarando corner three from her, and it connects. Lola Ibarando. Chamonix lead up to 11 now.
She hit that shot, let out a little let's go. She's got the juice.
She's had a night of tripping and falling tonight, and still contributing in any way she can. Nice screen there down low for Vitucci to get open, and rebounded for Burns underneath, couldn't put it home. Ball's loose, and Zamitis loses the handle on it, and it'll go back to the Falcons.
Yeah, she tried to do a little too much there. She went to do like I think it was a crossover or something with like 3 girls around her. There's sometimes, even though you want to handle the ball, just pick it up and let someone else come grab it from you, and then maybe get it back.
Dash with it, works it over to Vitucci. Vitucci looking over to McDonald. Daniela McDonald with it, goes it up over to Dash. Falcons looking for a shot, haven't been able to get one here. Holding possession, looking for something. Vitucci fakes the three, she'll take it after the nice step, and it's good. Vitucci leading all scorers with 12.
She banked that?
No, swished it in.
I'm looking through the camera here. From the little camera screen, it looked like it was a bank.
Final 30 seconds. Falcons trail by 8. Gives it up to Zemaitis now. Neshaminy will try to hold for a shot.
And they are. I was going to say, this is where I would go with like a little trap here. The only problem with a trap is you usually leave someone open during it.
Someone is open. It's Purdy now inside. Couldn't hit the jumper. As Julia travel on the Skins there.
You know, I was just about to say, she didn't dribble.
Falcons have to go the length of the court. 3 seconds left. A chance to put up something. Goes over to Vitucci. Vitucci will heave one up from half court. It's good if it goes, and no good off the backboard. And that is the end for quarter number 3. Neshaminy in control of this one. A big fourth quarter yet to come, and we'll keep things right here on the WBCB Sports Network. Don't forget, if you missed any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian or online at trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian. Jammer Doors and Windows is a fourth-generation family-owned and operated business since 1920 with showrooms in Lawrenceville and Yardley. Jammer provides sales, service, and installation of garage doors and openers, featuring Rainer garage doors with both steel and aluminum. Rainer garage doors are crafted for durability. Jammer also has entry doors, patio doors, storm doors, and windows as they do their own work and installation using no subcontractors. Visit their showroom, 2850 Brunswick Pike in Business Route 1 in Lawrenceville. Yardley showroom open by appointment. Call 215-493-7709, 215-493-7709. Jammer Doors and Windows, 101 years of quality and commitment, and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. All right, Eric, fourth quarter, Pennsbury's trailing Neshaminy in control of this one. And I don't know if you've noticed, but Pennsbury's using a lot of clock on their possessions tonight, trying to get girls in positions, and it's taking a lot of time up, and they have to get something quicker here to try to bounce back in this and kind of get back into the game.
Yeah, and it's showing the longer you take on offense, you know, the less margin you have, a lesser or a greater margin, or lesser margin of error. Because you're not giving yourself a chance. If you miss a shot, you're probably not getting as many shots after that. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. We're not used to Pennsbury being at 24 at the end of the third quarter.
No. Vitucci pulls up, no good.
Wasted no time on that possession.
They've had 24 points in first quarter a lot of times last season alone when we've been here. But like you said, and we continue to mention it, they're looking for other scorers. You have Dash and Vitucci so far leading the team, but not too much after that.
Yeah, and those are the two that you kind of expected coming in, with them being two returning starters, all that different stuff. But the other thing is, some of the other players have to start to step up. You know, you can't just say, okay, they were a starter, they're automatically the scorers this year, because that's not always how the season unfolds. You gotta, sometimes players just have to take charge on their own, and you know, we're gonna have to see when that happens.
As Pennsbury comes up with the loose ball here, it's Vitucci in transition. She'll give it up to Neve Davis, who swings it over to the corner to Matthias. Matthias will go cross court back over to Vitucci. Vitucci corner three on the wing, and it's good. Sophia Vitucci, give her 15 points on the night to lead all scorers.
And here comes a little bit of a press here. I like this idea because Pennsbury got some good results last time they started to speed up Neshaminy. And here we go again.
Linz Little banks in a 3 of her own.
Well, that was one of those weird scenarios. You speed her up. She takes a bad shot, and it happens to fall through because the bank was open.
Tucci looking for some isolation here. She'll give it over to Davis. Davis goes over to Pinero in the middle. She'll kick it out over Nevaeh Dash. Open 3, no good. Rebounded by Davis now. Vitucci drives, puts up a tough shot. No good.
That was a really strong move by Vitucci there.
As Cofield slid on the floor there. They'll get her with the travel.
No, they call
foul. Okay.
Charge. I think she pushed off. If I'm Pennsbury here, I want the ball in Vitucci's hands. She's been your most consistent scorer, really the most consistent scorer of this game in general. So you got to run her off picks and, get some pick and rolls going, any of that stuff. Just try to get the ball in her hands and get her to get shots up.
Dash looking, goes down low to Matthias. Matthias kicks it out to Daniela McDonald. No good, too strong there. As Cofield on the rebound, she'll push it up to Iberano, who drops in 2.
Yeah, not great shot selection there by McDonald, but you got to give her credit for taking the open shot.
As McDonald goes right back down, gets a deuce. Answer right back. Lead back down to 8 for the Falcons. Vitucci on Iberando. Zamitis out deep on the wing. As Iberando will pull it back here and they'll reset. Goes over to Cofield on the wing. As head coach John Gallagher didn't like what he saw there, and he'll take a timeout on the floor.
This will be really interesting to see what Coach Ciola comes up with out of this timeout. You really wonder if he's going to utilize this to come out with a different type of defense, whether it's a zone trap, a 1-3-1 trap, some kind of pressure, because I think at this point in the game you're down 8 points with, what is it, like 4 minutes left, 3 minutes left, something like that. You're going to want to speed up the other team because you need as many possessions as you can get. And how you get that is speeding up the other team and making them take bad shots, making them turn the ball over. So we'll see what happens here. But if I had to bet here, I would say Pennsbury's going to come with some form of pressure.
And offensively, Eric, they've been a little bit better this quarter, creating some good opportunities. But they've always been a team that is better in transition and is better with quick passes instead of an offensive setup here, where when they are passing it multiple times around the perimeter, trying to look for something, it kind of gets slow and stagnant, and Neshaminy is right there on all locking everything down.
Yeah,
and they got to switch it up there and get fast passes and get shooters open in position faster.
You're so right with that, except the one thing you have to think about is who was running those fast breaks for the past 4 years for Pennsbury.
Exactly.
So it is a big difference where you have a 6-foot point guard who can score from anywhere on the field or court, score or pass from anywhere on the court, have that insane court vision that Ava had. It's a big difference. It's out of bounds.
Zamitis with the 3 there will go over the basket, so will not count there. Again, head coach Sciola using his entire bench as he did in the opening game on Tuesday. Everyone played then and everyone has played tonight in some capacity. He's already looking for who's going to earn their jobs and roles and who's going to get playing time.
You get some minutes, and you get some minutes, and you get some
Well,
minutes.
you have to. I mean, second game of the year, you have to figure it out.
Nice pass.
Backdoor, and a good pass off the glass to Pinero. Her first points on the varsity level. Comes with 3:50 to go here. Falcons trail by 6. Steal by Vitucci. It's 2-on-1. She'll take it, give and go, over to McDonald, and McDonald puts it in.
And here comes that home court advantage, Nick.
Crowd getting rowdy here now. Has been quiet most of this game.
There's a long home court winning streak on the line here for the Falcons, and they don't want to lose it in their home opener.
Neshaminy lead down to 4, 3:19 to go. Iberondo with control. Dash guarding her, she'll give it up. Nowhere to go there. Gersh now with it. McDonald on her. As Matthias guarding the 6'1 Zemaitis. She spins. Matthias stays in front of her. Gersh now with it, goes over to Zemaitis. Zemaitis pushes off the glass, no good. Rebounded underneath. Anna Soska, the senior forward, puts in her first points of the evening.
That's what they want right there.
Vitucci, good, banks it in. Sophia Vitucci, 18 points, leading all scorers. Timeout, John Gallagher. 39-36, our score. We'll keep things right here. For complete automotive service, trust the Peruzzi Auto Group for value and service on all makes and models. Free multi-point inspection on your vehicle with any paid service. 10% military and law enforcement discount on any service. Buy 3 tires, get the 4th free. All service performed by certified technicians. Peruzzi has big comfy waiting rooms at their dealership with free Wi-Fi and early drop-off. Peruzzi service open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday, 7:30 until 4:30 p.m. Peruzzi Auto Group service for all makes and models. Visit a Peruzzi dealership on Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills, where our business is you. All right, Eric, so whatever Coach Sciola drew up in the last timeout seemed to work as the Falcons cut the lead down to single digits now. And another timeout gives him to continue to work on that as Neshaminy tries to regroup here in the final stages of the game to push ahead here. What can both sides do as Neshaminy tries to push ahead and the Falcons try to get back in the game?
Well, if you're the Falcons, stay the course. Pressure, 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 push, push, push. If you're Neshaminy, you need to figure out how to slow down the pace of this game, because the pace of this game is what's getting a little bit out of control on Neshaminy's end. And here comes that pressure from Pennsbury.
As Purdy with it goes underneath. Zemaitis had a shooter open, no good. Pennsbury gets it. Crowd is erupting.
That's what the pressure does. They got away with a walk and ball don't lie. They lost the possession, and now Pennsbury has a chance to put it down to 1 or tie.
Vitucci will pull it back here. Final 2 minutes mark here in the 4th quarter from the Falcons' nest. It's Burns now with it. Burns will go down low. They'll swing it over to Matthias. Matthias drives, puts one up with the right hand. No good. Off glass. Ball's loose as Matthias fights for it. And the possession arrow will go back to the Falcons here. Vitucci, another 3 from the corner. In and out, no good.
That's what they want right there.
Vitucci, another 3 from the wing. No good on that one. Under 90 seconds to play.
She's rushing it just a bit, which is leading the ball to go a little bit off to the left. She just has to give herself a little bit of a fraction of time to get her feet just a little bit more set and hold that follow through up. And she'll be making those shots.
Ibarrando, they'll call the block on Vitucci. Interesting call there. I think Vitucci may have gotten to the spot. The referees think otherwise. As a pair of subs for the Falcons, it'll be Olivia Gilchrist and Maggie Burns back on to the floor. Little now with it, swings it over to Ibarrando. Neshaminy in no hurry here. Still up 3. Drive by Gershon, gets it off the glass.
That's a big time drive there. That is a momentum plug, making it a 5-point game. That is huge.
Vitucci another 3, gets the roll and the bounce in. .21 points for Sophia Vitucci. And it has been a 3-point party for her in this second half as we have another timeout on the floor. 39-41, the Falcons trail. And Eric, this game is going to come down to the wire.
Some cold-blooded play here by Sophia Vitucci in the fourth quarter. Really putting this Falcons team in a good spot. But aside from that, I think what's really helped them is the defensive pressure and speeding up this game. That's the way they played last year. They played fast, and they got back to it in this second half. And now they have an opportunity to get a stop and possibly take the lead if they can get this stop. This is huge. You cannot give up points here, especially when you're in high school and you don't have the shot clock.
So Neshaminy will try to milk some time here as Pennsbury will look to ramp up the defense and get any kind of turnover or loose ball. Neshaminy might not have to do too much either. Maybe another bucket or two will put this one away for them. As we'll have the inbound underneath the basket here. It goes over to Zmitis, like trapped right away. Purdy now with it. She spins out of it, and she'll throw the ball too long over the head of Ibarrando. And there's the turnover the Falcons were looking for.
That's the whole point of it, Nick. They got the ball into someone's hands that's not used to handling it, and it ended up in a big mistake because they were sped up. Now you need fast offense here if you're Pennsbury too, because you don't have time on your side to miss a shot and then play defense. You have to go quick and get a shot up in case you miss.
Under 20 seconds now. Vitucci with it. Goes over to Dash, who spins, tries to get something, and they'll call the block over there on Gersh.
Neshaminy has no fouls to give now, so that gives Pennsbury the opportunity to play very aggressive if they want to.
Inbound, goes over to Dash. Dash kicks it over to McDonald. McDonald swings it over to Matthias. Back over to Dash, open in the corner, 3, good! Neshaminy timeout, Nevaeh Dash does it in the clutch.
Going down the stretch, there's 2 players in this lineup that have the most experience on the team, and they have gone to them. Nevaeh Dash. Nevaeh Dash and Sophia Vitucci, the 2 with the most experience right now in this lineup, have taken the game by control offensively and defensively, and now Pennsbury's in the driver's seat with 1.9 to go.
And what did you were saying, Eric, throughout this whole quarter in between the timeouts, a quick pass, and what did Pennsbury do? They got a couple looks they didn't like. Dash was open in the corner and put that shot up so quick, got exactly what they wanted, and she connected in the biggest moment of the game.
Well, the biggest thing with that, they didn't only they didn't only go quick passes, but they went quick passes to the opposite side. When the defense moved, it left an open pocket, a tremendous pass there to find the open pocket and get the perfect shot at the perfect time. Now the biggest thing is, Pennsbury is saying they have 2 fouls to give. Don't be surprised if they take one as soon as the ball comes in. It's just a risky play because you don't want to foul a shooter. But expect them to take a foul when the ball comes into the court.
All right, we have 4 seconds on the clock. Officials during that timeout were trying to confirm how much time was left and should be left after the timeout, as Neshaminy called a timeout right away, right after the basket went in for Dash. And they were going to have to go the length of the court. It'll be timeout on Pennsbury now. Frank Sciola wanted a timeout just to go over everything one more time.
That was a great move by Coach Sciola. He wanted to see what kind of setup they came to against their press. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's putting in a different kind of defensive pressure right now, because they think Neshaminy's probably coming out thinking of the pressure look that Pennsbury was just in. So I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Sciola changes that up. And I guarantee you they're still saying to their players to take a foul as soon as the ball comes in. If a Neshaminy player touches the ball in bounds, you could probably take the foul within 0.8 of a second and probably be able to really milk some time off of this clock.
And there will be 4 seconds to go here. Again, Neshaminy will have to go the length of the court. They only trail by 1. Eric just mentioned Pennsbury does have a pair of fouls to give, so we won't be surprised if they do so as soon as this ball is inbounded.
Now scratch that. It's really one foul to give.
One foul, okay.
They have 1 foul, so they can take 1 foul. They just have to be very careful about it. I also wouldn't be surprised. They are probably going to try to get Zamitis streaking down the floor if they can possibly do it. Talk about playing chess. Oh my goodness.
High drama here on the home opener for the Falcons and the opening night for the Neshaminy Skins. And Eric, I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better game to start off the basketball season here.
Oh, you're absolutely right. This is a phenomenal game, a tremendous comeback no matter what happens. But I'm almost wondering, is this a tactic by Coach Sciola to try and get Neshaminy to overthink it?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, this might be mind games more than anything right now.
Both these coaches, John Gallagher and Coach Sciola, have illustrious careers. They know what they're doing in these situations. All right, here we go. Final 4 seconds. Neshaminy to inbound.
Look for Zamitis to go down the floor.
They'll inbound it over to Ibarrondo. She'll go, and there's the foul. Right about midcourt there, just passed by Maggie Burns.
They took half the time off of the clock, so that is a tremendous move by the Falcons. Now the only thing that's tricky about this situation is fouling at midcourt does give the Skins the ability to run someone like Zamitis off of a curl cut and get an open 3 or an open shot, which is not exactly what you want if you're Pennsbury.
And 1.5 seconds is enough time to get any kind of shot off. You're probably not going to get a jumper, but anything from distance from Zamitis, Ibarrondo, or maybe a surprise score here. We'll see how Neshaminy lines up after this timeout. DiLorenzo's The Berg Pizza, 8919 New Falls Road in Levittown, owned and operated by Tyler DiLorenzo. The exact same recipe as great-grandparents did back in the 1940s in Trenton's famous Chambersburg section. Try the only original Trenton tomato pie or other gourmet pizzas, mustard pie, soups, salads, sandwiches, homemade pasta dishes. Eat in or take out. Call DiLorenzo's 215-943-2605.
Now Zamitis is down on the block. Look for her to curl around either to get a jumper in the post area or a jumper at the top of the key.
Inbound goes to Ibarando. It's Gersh inside the arc, puts it up, and it's short. No good. And that will do it. The Pennsbury Falcons continue their winning ways here at the Falcon Nest. They go to 2-0 on the season as Neshaminy drops this one 42-41, our final score. The Falcons improved to 14-0 in their last 14 home games. Stay with us. We got more. Our player of the game coming up next, right after this on the WBCB Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone, to the Falcons Nest. I'm here with our player of the game, Nevaeh Dash. Nevaeh, what a way to start off the home season here. Dramatics to the core in this rivalry game. Let's just go back to that last possession and what you saw and how it all came about.
I mean, honestly, that last I'm not going to lie, I was sweating a little bit. 4 seconds is a lot of time, especially 4.8 seconds. It's a lot of time. So the constant timeout. I mean, I feel like it was, you got to slow the momentum down.
Right.
Tensions, energy's high, both offense, defense. So slowing it down, it kind of got us, we got our breath. We can slow down. Yep. We can get into our defense. We can know what we're doing, communicate well, just get into our sets so we know what they're doing. And honestly, I mean, I feel like that's what helped us win, to be honest with you, because if it wasn't for the timeouts, it would have been a little crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have a lot of adversity throughout just tonight. You had a nice win on Tuesday, kind of get things going for the season. And tonight, you start the campaign of the SOL competition, a big rivalry game, of course, as always. You know everything about that. But you guys, just looking at the season overall, how do you guys feel? I mean, you're one of the leaders on this team now compared to last year. How do you feel about stepping into that role for this season?
I'm excited. I mean, this season, I feel like we can have a really good season. We're going to have a really good season, honestly. Like, stepping into the leadership role, it's different. This is the biggest I've had to step up throughout my high school career. And I mean, it just feels good, like, honestly.
Good, it should, because this is a team, you guys know you're led by a great head coach. You have a great team around you this year. And just looking at that, you're only one of the 3 seniors this year, but you have a deep junior class. What can you talk about the juniors can learn from the season that was last year and to this year with you and the other seniors, what they can learn this year?
I feel like they're learning leadership skills this year. They're having to step up a lot. the juniors, some of them, this is their first time on the varsity floor, and they're fitting in. They're naturals. It looks natural for them, and they're holding us for all these big spots, games, positions. They're really helping us out. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they're stepping up.
Now to transition to one of them, one of your great teammates in the junior class, Sophia Vitucci, finished with 21 points tonight. A lot of threes in the most clutch times. Can you just talk about her performance and what she was saying in between the huddles and on the floor?
Honestly, Soph's just a clutch player. We screen for her. She's gonna get to the basket. She's either gonna get to the basket, shoot a pull up, or she's gonna pass it. And we were just basically all throughout the timeouts, literally throughout the whole entire game, screen. They were playing us in zone, so screen the zone, screen the zone. When the zone is screened, that's how we get open. That's how she gets open, because she can get downhill from that.
Nevaeh, thank you so much for your time, for your efforts tonight. You get a D. Lorenzosburg gift card. Enjoy that. Enjoy some food. Congratulations tonight on the win. Good luck this weekend in D.C. with that tournament. And as you and Neshaminy both will head down to D.C. against some tough competition. So good luck with that, and we'll look forward to talking to you later this year.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, that will almost wrap it up. Eric, I'll bring you back on for some closing thoughts here, as we had a real great game tonight from the start, as Neshaminy kind of dominated the second quarter and Pennsbury had to battle back. But it looked like, just talk about Neshaminy, because we don't talk about too much of teams in the losses, but they really had this game in their grasp and kind of let it slide. What do you think they can kind of take away from tonight, it only being their first game of the season?
I think the biggest thing for Neshaminy to do is really you got to play all 32 minutes. They controlled the game for about I'd say 27 of the 32 minutes, and that's just not going to do it against a team like Pennsbury, especially at the Falcons' nest, when they have the home court advantage. That they're a good, solid, consistent program. And, that's it. That's just not going to cut it. And it showed tonight. But Neshaminy's got a really nice team, and I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being a season split when they play for the second time. But on the flip side, I wouldn't be surprised if this win kind of catapults Pennsbury into having that battle-tested mode, where now it really does. I think the biggest thing that happened was that the leaders for Pennsbury were cemented tonight. Vitucci and Dash took over that game, and really they took it over and won it for Pennsbury. There's no other way around that. They won the game for Pennsbury, and that's dangerous for the other SOL teams, because once Pennsbury gets their leaders, they have the coach and they have the depth. They just need to gel. So a battle-tested game like this goes a long, long way.
As Pennsbury will look to take the momentum down, as I mentioned, to Nevaeh Dash as they go down to Washington, D.C. for a weekend tournament. They'll take on Gwen Park High School from Maryland and Bishop Loughlin from Brooklyn, New York. Those games this weekend, as they have 3 non-league tournaments this season spread out. The first one is, again, this weekend, and a tough schedule for December. Eric will just quickly go through it here. They got Truman, Ben Salem, Lansdale Catholic, Council Rock South, Council Rock North, Unionville, Ridley, and Penwood all in this month. So a lot of tough competition for the Falcons in this early part of their calendar season.
Yeah, no ifs, ands, or buts about that one. But you know what? They're a tough team. They're going to play a tough schedule, and they're going to come away with some tough wins. And, they might come away with some tough losses. But the bottom line is it's going to make them a better team for when February and March rolls around.
And we'll leave it there. Pennsbury victorious on their home floor, 14-0 in their last 14 games. They win it against their rivals Neshaminy, 42-41. Thank you, everyone, for joining us and watching high school basketball right here on the WBCB Sports Network.